I am in a lot of trouble. I was playing football in my living room. I kicked the ball at my son. He tipped the ball over onto the dining table and I smashed one of my wife's favorite vases. It has been a very painful last 15 minutes of my life, and you guys are here to save me. So, welcome to the Late Night Lounge here on Latte Firm on this Friday night, the 10th of October, 10/10/25. And we are amidst an international break, which is boring as hell. So, lots of content tonight. We're going to talk about Tony Adams, Mr. Arsenal. It is, of course, his birthday. Happy birthday to Tony Adams. We can talk about his playing career and get some vibes from Yembele as he reminisces the good old days, because Wayne and I are obviously way too young to remember any of that stuff. We are going to talk about also what else? Premier League potentially being played overseas. La Liga and Serie A have already committed to their fixtures overseas. Want to get the thoughts of these two fine chaps and get their thoughts on that. We'll then talk about Bukayo Saka doing what Saka does, scoring for England, breaking records. Of course, now a centurion of goal contributions for Arsenal. Going to talk about that. And then the Barclays, 7 games in, want to get the thoughts of Yem and Wayne in terms of the quarter 1 review, if you like, the title race, the relegation battle, and just the sort of general mid-table scrum. Then we'll talk about January is around the corner, believe it or not, and Berta is going to start working his magic, I'm sure. I've asked each of our guests to name one player that they would like to sign in January. Stick around for that. Get involved in the chat. Keep it active. A warm welcome to our Patreon members and our channel members. And of course, everyone just watching on this Friday night. Thank you so much for making the time. Lots of you watching live already, live on YouTube. And I hope you guys like the thumbnail. That is courtesy of the brilliant Forder on Football. He has his own YouTube channel. He's done it again, although I'm a little bit nervous about what I would look like with hair. It's been a long time, but that Victor Gyökeres has got me thinking about going to Turkey. AP says, Latte FC is back. Late FC is back. Apologies once again for, well, I broke my wife's vase, and John, if you're watching, yeah. Umair, welcome to the show. Hello, FK, Yem and Wayne. Hope you're all well. Is that Haroon Hickman? Is who? Haroon Hickman. Oh, Victor Gyökeres. Yeah, similarity. Both handsome chaps. AV says, who is that with the glasses in the hair? That can't be who I think it is. Maybe in an alternate universe. Yes, I had a lot of hair when I was a kid. A lot. Sadly, not anymore. Latif, welcome to the show. Paul is in the chat as well. Says, evening all. V Vlad. Good evening all. The OG trio back at it tonight. What a thumbnail. For delivering as usual. Special thanks to AFC Met, who joined us last week. A really capable, potentially more reliable and more fun and more concise deputy for Yembele. He's smiling in the background. He's giving me the up your sign as well. That's not how you treat your boss. AP says, is that Yembele or Ezembele or maybe Semenbele? Oh, it just works. Every name. I love that. Good evening to Lucio. Josh says Wayne Dueke, Yemerechi and Odekan. Actually, Victor Gyokan. That's probably what it is tonight. That's Never Fires on the Left. No, it's not. Good evening to AFC 777. Hope you've had a fantastic week. It's been a nice Indian summer, nice sort of prolonged sunshine into late October. We're looking good. AP says it's terrible that Wayne had to be Wayne Dueke. I like Madueke. I wish that could have been me, actually. But there we are. Arsenal Granny says, I think we might be in for a wild night. Hopefully, Arsenal Granny. Hope you've had a great week. Hope you're in good health and that you're enjoying, looking forward to the weekend. Umair says, apparently the UAE are looking into buying Manchester United. Can't see them ever being good again. Long may that continue, my friend. Although I think if the Arabs got involved with United, we could be in trouble. Dave is here. Welcome, Dave. Hope you've had a glorious week, my friend. Patrick Carlton is here in the house as well. Dan Smith, love to see familiar names. Thomason, welcome. BX Gunner 81. Really, really good to see the chat active. Keep that active throughout the show. We will bring you guys in as and when. So let's bring in our first guest. Let's welcome him back. He's been moving house. He's back. He's here. It is Wayne Bele. How are you, my man?
I'm good. It was good to be back with you last week with Matt, obviously joining in. We managed to get it wrapped up in 50 minutes? A world record for these Friday night lounges. Safe to say with old regular back, we'll probably be on for a good 2.5 hours. So
I think so. I think
Let's
so.
get the coffee ready.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, if you are tuning in and you're about to listen to the dulcet tones of Yembele, you may as well just, buckle up for the evening. Irabor says he is listening from Canada. Hi, FK. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate that. Madeline, good evening, gents. Karen is here. I was wondering where you were, Karen. Hope you've had a fantastic week. And Patrick says, vibes have been immaculate since we decided to let it all work out. I understand Twitter had a little meltdown between the Liverpool and Newcastle games, but I didn't notice. Thomasin says, big up to you, Wayne. Wayne, how you been? How's your week?
Yeah, it's been good. Still surrounded by boxes, which is fun, but we're nearly there. We're nearly getting there. The daughter's bedroom's all sorted. Our bed is all up and running, waiting for a wardrobe. Sofas are being delivered, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, we're good up and we're up and running. I managed to set up the PlayStation. That's the main thing.
Oh, nice, nice. He's cooking. And of course, a new episode of the Can You Believe It podcast. Check that out today. Do you want to tell the people about it?
But yeah, it came out earlier today. We just kind of done a brief look back at West Ham, which was a thoroughly boring game, but it's those kind of boring games that win you titles at the end of the year. So yeah, it was talk about that, talk about Saka and his wonderful sort of England return. And actually quite surprised, you might actually be surprised as well, the fact that Saka's now the second highest England goal scorer. When you think of someone like Ian Wright, like for Arsenal. For Arsenal.
He's the highest.
I thought he went second.
He broke the record. No, he broke Cliff Baston's record. He is now
either way. It's
the
what,
highest
13?
goal scorer.
Yeah, but only 13. But we had Ian Wright. Ian Wright was at a time where Shearer was banging goals. Guys like Andy Cole, Les Ferdinand was all sort of playing for England. I know he had a falling out with Hoddle, didn't he?
Well, if you think about Wrighty, he had the fallout. He actually, obviously, his career sort of exploded at quite a late age, and he didn't play for England as much as you'd think because of the likes of Shearer and Les Ferdinand was incredible. And
Sheringham as well.
Sheringham, Shearer, that SAS. And that's just a reality. Dave says he had to compete with Shearer. Not enough caps, he says. Anajit, welcome to the show. Karen says, I've been planting winter veg. Sick of going to the shop and all the fruit and veg being bashed up. I do like fruit, the veg sort of Christmas time. Really looking forward to that. I know I've said the C word already. AP says, can we just snack? Can we just skip Yem snack check? I concur. I think that would be a wonderful idea. And Umair says, yes, Ian Wright has 9 goals. Bukayo Saka is now the highest goal-scoring gunner for the Three Lions. Well, Wayne, welcome to the show. You're getting a lot of love in the chat. Keep the love coming. Really appreciate that. Let's bring in Yembele. A nice, warm welcome back after what was a fantastic show last week, it has to be said. So he's got big shoes to fill. How are you, Yem?
I'm aggrieved already. I've not even had 1 minute on the here, and I'm aggrieved already. What? Trying to be replaced? You know, my
come on, Yem. Keep it short, Yem. Come on.
Hey, listen,
end the stream now.
It was funny. Today I sort of messaged the group as I normally do. You boys in for the old late night latte? And I was actually talking to Wayne, and Yem was like, yeah. I was like, oh, sorry, Yem, you've been stood down. Maybe we'll get you on for a Christmas special. I know that hurt you. I know you had a little weep. And then I brought you straight back in, and I was like, okay, you get back here.
Like I said, I'm not anyone's Christmas turkey. It's all me and all of me. That's it. No turkey edition.
A dog is for life and not. Wait.
Hey, whoa. Steady.
So how's your week, Yembele? How you been?
Boring. So boring. Without football, my God.
Internationals.
England is dross. I didn't even watch it because I was at my daughter's swimming. Honestly, I can't be asked with any internationals. I only just picked up that Sweden played tonight and played terribly. How do you have 2 of the world's best strikers and still be rubbish? They didn't score, and Switzerland beat them. Xhaka got on the score sheet. You'll be happy to know.
Obviously. Well, I'm Isak is obviously ruining. Isak must be the only striker who needs time to bed in.
That's what he needs a time to
adapt. League that he's already
3 years. Yeah, wild. Right, let's get it out of the way. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, if you're watching, let me know, what are you guys having on your snack check tonight on this Friday? If you're tuning in for the first time, wondering what the hell is going on, we're not talking about football. We're 9 minutes in. What's going on? But this is Heritage Snack Check on a Friday night, and then vibes for the rest of the show. Miz, you're back. Do you want to ruin the mood straight away, and then maybe Wayne and I can pick it up again? What you got for us tonight?
So tonight, I'm still snacking on it. I'm going to show the whole packet, but I've got it in a bowl effectively. Is these spicy buffalo wing flavored peanuts. These are legit, honestly, my favorite peanuts now.
Okay.
I have I used to. I think I've had them on before. I had the like crispy, chili coated ones from Marks and Spencer, but this is me and my wife's favorite now. We were so addicted to it. It's so nice. So if you ever at Marks and Spencer, the buffalo wing flavored spicy nuts, my word. I mean, look, I had a full bowl of this about 10 minutes ago, and it's gone.
Fiery buffalo spicy nuts. Mate, someone will be passing wind in bed tonight. I'm sure
No,
of it. But
it's light. It's light.
well, enjoy, my friend. That, do you know what? I didn't have any facial reactions to that. I think that is a top tier snack. Enjoy it. Just don't choke live on air, please. Wayne, what you got for us tonight?
I have gone steady and very simple and basic because we haven't had the food shopping in the new place yet. So I've got salt and vinegar Walker's crisps.
Okay,
Standard, a staple, a solid workman's snack.
Workman, salt and vinegar, not the flavour for me, but enjoy, my friend. Enjoy.
Salt and vinegar is the only one. Salt and vinegar is the only one. Let's get this straight.
Don't get started, mate.
No,
Is that
I would have preferred
behaviour?
the cheese and onion, but
the Walker's cheese and onion is
it's
goated.
sensational.
It is
Sensational.
absolutely the goat of Walker's regular crisps. If you're talking Walker's Paprika Max, they are the don. Let's get through some of the people. So Madeline says tonight's snack are, how do you pronounce that? Knopper and Manor.
Yeah,
wafers.
we've had them before. Why do you not remember anything?
Have we?
When we went to Amsterdam, we had these.
You mean Stroop waffles?
Yes.
Those sorts of wafers. Oh, yes. Okay. But Madeline, cultured. I like it. Is Tudor your surname as well? That is such an elite name. Manny says, snack check tonight is a cup of tea and a penguin chocolate biscuit. I've not had a penguin in a long time. Manny, let me know what the joke was on the wrapper. I want to hear that. Dave says, snack check tonight, hot honey Jaffa cakes. Mate, you shared this in the Patreon chat. I could not believe my eyes. Went down to Sainsbury's and they didn't have it in stock. Yeah, where are you getting them from, Dave? Let me know.
Yeah,
I bet it's like the
local. Didn't he have raspberry as well? He had
shop.
like this weird raspberry flavor. I went to look for it and it's not there. It's maybe we're missing something. Maybe.
Let me know. Umair says his snack check tonight is just chai. It's a kind of mild, cold night. Why not warm up the old mouth with a bit of chai? Jeet is having paneer tikka masala with a garlic naan and masala chips. Masala chips are so elite.
Yeah,
mate, you've done yourself good there, sunshine.
AFC
777 says he's gone healthy tonight and enjoying some juicy black grapes. Grapes are such an elite fruit as well. If you whack them in the fridge, they are just so good.
I'm not really partial to a black grape though. I do like red grapes, but the darker ones, there's because there's three. There's like the red ones, the green ones, and then there's an even darker red black one. I don't like those.
I like the red
dark
black
ones.
ones.
The red ones are good. The red grapes, right?
Okay. Well, AFC 777's leading by example. He's gone for a nice healthy snack. Anajit's having a Magnum Classic tonight. Love that. Addicted 92 is not having any of it. Ooh, cheese and onion, salt and vinegar all the way. Cheese and onion is the elite flavor. Oh, and roast chicken comes a close second. The Walker's roast chicken.
Walker's roast chicken is different level. I don't know how they did it, but when I first had it, it was like, your eyes open up. You're like,
is elite. Paul James, what's all this about? Cashews and raisins. Huh?
Is it honey roasted? Is it honey roasted though? If it's honey roasted,
honey roasted raisins.
No, honey roasted cashews.
Yeah, I know, but why is he having them together? Paul, why are you having them together? What's that about? He says he's having carrot protein.
I don't know if Manny also has a penguin or has Googled penguin joke, but the penguin joke is brilliant.
Well, he's got it right. So Yambele, how do penguins make pancakes?
I don't know. Go on.
With its flippers. Hey, very, very good. Love that. DJ D10 says, evening everyone. Sorry I'm late. I had to watch ads for 40 minutes before being able to join. That is hopefully an exaggeration, given we've only been online for 13 minutes, but I do apologize, YouTube. That's just the way they are. If you enjoy ad-free content, do consider becoming a Patreon member. It supports the channel because obviously I don't want to work with betting companies, refuse to work with them. And obviously it does help with the running costs. Really appreciate that. But unfortunately, ads are just the way YouTube are. Karen says she's got a Domino's tonight. Tandoori for my topping. Tandoori chicken pizza is actually really good, and it's got to be a cheesy crust. Right. What am I having tonight? So I went looking for the raspberry Jaffa for the hot honey Jaffa cakes that Dave had shared with us in the Patreon chat. They looked really good, and he's actually just come back to say, I've got a local corner shop that gets all these alternative snacks. Hot honey Jaffa cakes are confusing my taste buds. I do like them. Do you know what's really funny about Dave? I can imagine him saying that because I've met him so many times. And he's got such a
Yeah, you
distinct.
can imagine what he
You know what I
sounds
mean?
like.
I can imagine saying, "I have a local corner shop. I do like them. I love it. I love it, Dave. I love you as well, Dave." What have I got tonight? So I've got fried rice and dumplings.
Yeah,
says Dan Smith.
that's top tier.
433 Monster Munch flaming hot. Yes. Dave says he's done the whole pack. Oh, mate.
How?
What you like? Raven, big up FK, Yem and Wayne, big up Maguna. So in the hunt for that, I failed it, but I went to, also an equal sort of Turkish boss man shop right by Woodford Tube, the one.
Yeah, I know.
And look at that. Milka,
that's not, yeah.
Raspberry choco.
Have you been to International?
Never had it before. Yeah, go on.
Did you go to International?
No.
International got a massive selection of Milka stuff, including those go in.
Have they? Well, I mean, my boss, it's also with Alpine milk. So you can see that. Yeah. That means anything.
They've got loads, mate.
So here we are, Choco Jaffa Raspberry, right? So they look exactly like Jaffa cakes. Now, Milka chocolate, in case anybody's wondering, is elite. Their chocolate mousse stuff is elite. So here it comes. It comes in a little tray like that, just like a Jaffa cake. Ooh, you can smell the raspberry. That is nice. Let's have a little texture-wise, exactly the same. Oh my God.
Has Milka done it?
Holy moly.
Get some.
That's better than Jaffa cakes.
No.
That's insane.
Is it milk chocolate or dark chocolate? Is it milk or dark chocolate?
It's Milka. It's milk chocolate. And it's
It's not called darker. Yeah.
that's got some overtones which I'm not going to talk about even.
Wow. That's
They have an orange one as well, so that I do know they have an orange one as well.
Ladies and gents, boys and girls, just get yourself down to some boss man shop, and that is what you need.
Yeah, boss man.
Only
boss man will have it. Only boss man will have it.
Sponsorships welcome. Right.
And the Fanta.
Ooh, yeah. Paul James says elite FK. Anything from Milka, honestly. Their sort of aero equivalent is absolutely sensational. They are elite. Believe me.
They got so many, haven't they? So many variations.
They do. Yeah, we should try a sugar fast actually. Next week we'll bring on some savouries. Dan Alpha's a show up on a close up on camera. I hope that was adequate. Let me know if you want to see it later on. I'll get it out again. Malcolm MK says orange Milka is top tier. I will take that and I will use that. Right, 15 minutes in as normal, and we haven't started talking about football. So let's do it. Let's talk about football, and let's talk about Mr. Arsenal, because in recent weeks he has taken a bit of a bashing because of the sort of off the field stuff that he always finds himself talking about, criticizing our current captain Martin Odegaard. But it's only, and we hung him out for that, but it's only fair that we reminisce and celebrate his birthday, because he is Yembele, one of the all-time greats of Arsenal Football Club, captaining the team at such a young age, absolutely sensational. 669 club games, 66 England caps, 49 goals in those games, and 13 major honours for Arsenal. Mr. Arsenal, Tony Adams. Yeah, it's his birthday. Tell us what it was like watching Tony Adams play for Arsenal when you were a kid.
It's really hard to describe how good he was. And this is across two different kind of stints, because if you watched him in his later years, he was a very different defender from what he was in the 80s, which was a rugged, all-action, very tough tackling defender. Whereas in the 90s, when Wenger came around, he had redefined his game a little bit. It was a bit more smoother. But if you're getting the captain's armband of Arsenal at 18, it tells you what kind of player you are. He was a natural leader. As soon as he got on the pitch, everyone knew you're going to be in for a tough game with Tony Adams. He was physical. He was so rugged. 18 years old. Look at him. That's him at 18. That's pretty scary in terms of how built he was. And yeah, just probably one of the best defenders I've seen in terms of, for an English centre-half from such a young age. It was just, for that team, especially in the 1989 season, wow. But also, look, you can't talk about Tony Adams' playing career without talking about, unfortunately, there are low points, which are obviously his battle against substances and alcohol. But obviously, to recover off that and come back even better is a testament to the character. Now, obviously, as you just said, we have talked about his how he has talked about the team in the last couple of years. But you can't take away anything from what he is. He's been the captain of his country many times. When you talk about natural captains, I think we're all in the kind of the same ilk where we think the defender should be the captain usually. I certainly am. I'm very old school. But he was the first one. I know John Terry was an excellent captain, but this guy for me was the captain. Such a good player. I absolutely loved watching him. It was it was always a pleasure to watch him, and it was just sad that obviously when we knew about what happened, then obviously that started to affect his game. He was out for a long time, but came back better than ever. And that goal against Everton in the last game of the 98 winning season was just it teed it off perfectly. It was just a perfect kind of way to celebrate his freedom from what he didn't need. And it's just amazing. It's an amazing story. If there are younger Arsenal fans who want to know why Tony Adams is held in such high regard, why he has a statue, it's not just his playing ability, it's his leadership and what he's done over a massive span. He's not the record holder, but he's Mr. Arsenal for a reason. He literally embodies the club. He's a one-club man. He's always signed the contracts. There's never been a talk of him going somewhere else. He has only had one club. He is Mr. Arsenal. And, whatever he says, he's still an absolute legend. There is a reason, as I said, he's got a statue, and it will never change. My opinion will never change in terms of what he's contributed to the club.
Wayne, do you remember watching Tony Adams, or have you seen do you have any memories of him? Do you kind of ever look back and sort of read about him?
Yeah, I grew up as an Arsenal fan in the 90s, so I saw probably towards the ending part of his career. Obviously, the main highlight for me growing up was that celebration, that goal that he scored and running through at Highbury. It was just a monumental memory that I think, even if you weren't born in that era and didn't watch Tony Adams, that highlight, that goal, that situation. So, yeah, he's just somebody that I don't think you'll ever really see a career replicated like that anymore in today's football. Football just kind of moves on too quickly now. Players aren't given 20 years at a club to play first team football, to come through as a 16, 18-year-old, to continue until their late sort of 30s and just be able to kind of lead a team for as long as Tony Adams did. And it's sad in some ways, but it's also unique, the fact that he's one of a kind. He's a defender's defender. You get all of the defenders now silky on the ball. They have to dribble a little bit. They have to play in a high line. This guy was just able to defend. Ask him to defend and he would do it. And yeah, it's a shame sometimes how, I guess, I won't say bitter, but how bitter he kind of comes across at times talking about modern Arsenal, current Arsenal. And potentially it's because he's maybe been left out a little bit, maybe not being brought in as much as maybe the club probably should do. But yeah, for fans of the club, I don't think anyone will really ever say a bad word about him, his history, what he means to the club, and just how important he is.
Yeah, listen, I don't really want to talk too much about what he's been saying away from the playing days and sort of the criticism aimed towards the club. Lots of reasons, we talked about that so many times. For me as a player, as a kid growing up, he and Paul Merson were my two favourite players. Dembele always used to like David Rocastle, but for me it was always Merson and big Tony Adams. Adams was actually captain at 21, but he was still, one of the youngest captains that we'd ever had, permanent captain at 21, 14 years as captain of Arsenal Football Club. Like I say, 669 appearances, a truly ultimate sort of one club man, which is an increasing rarity, I guess, in modern day football. He was the rock at the heart of our defence, thrived as the leader in the famous back four. Many of our younger fans won't have a clue what I'm talking about, but if you remember Lee Dixon, Nigel Winterburn and Stevie Bold under George Graham. And I've got to say, on an individual level, it's probably hard to think of a more committed, more gutsy, more, I guess, inspirational leader in Arsenal history. As a leader of men, incredible. Like Vieira comes close because of what he became in the end. For me, like someone like Henry doesn't touch these two. Tony Adams as a leader, sensational, young captain, Lionheart, David, that's a word, played, I think, 60 odd times for England. He was England captain at the Euros 1996, if you remember that. But as a player, magnificent as a defender. He had the sort of elegant long legs that just crept out of nowhere, sliding tackles back in the day. Nowadays, defenders are taught not to go to ground, right? You stay on your feet, and you win the ball cleanly. Tony Adams was the master of that sliding tackle, the perfect timing of it. He was a warrior. He was strong. And the one phrase that I would like to describe Tony Adams as is that, how people say, well, if you had to go to war, who would you pick? If you were going to war, you would want Big Tony by your side. In fact, you would want Big Tony leading you out. That is, you could just count on Tony Adams to be there, to be present, to be vocal, to be loud, to be in your face, to give as good as he got. And he had such a presence about him. I know everyone uses the word aura, but genuinely, even his celebrations, the Everton sort of looking up into the sky, but like everything about him when he was on the pitch, you knew you were in for a game when Tony Adams was there. And of course, his playing days and career wasn't all positive. Had a couple of off the field issues that he sort of really struggled with and opened up about, but he is Mr. Arsenal, and I will only have fond memories of him on the pitch, and I absolutely loved him. Manny K says Merson and Wright for me were his heroes growing up. AFC 777 says Tony has helped so many sports people with addiction issues with his Sporting Chance Clinic. Yeah, his book Addicted is absolutely brilliant. If you can maybe order it on from Amazon or buy it in a bookshop, absolutely superb. Paul James says Adams is the only captain to collect silverware for the same club in 3 different decades, 3 league titles, 1-0 to the Arsenal, of course. That came KSSNYW. FK, I think what Yemen Wayne is saying is spot on. That's why that's what he's saying about certain current players is so disappointing. Not helpful right now, particularly with the way the media goes on. Yeah, look, Arsenal players of old are always going to have their say. As a player, you cannot touch Tony Adams, absolute legend, and that is why, of course, he has a massive statue outside the Emirates. So happy birthday to Tony Adams, just in case he's watching, but in case he's not, for the younger fans amongst the chat, what a glorious player he was, and he would fit right into these set pieces that we're doing under Nico Yova. Let's move away from Tony Adams and let's look forward. Stadium expansion and games overseas. Look, guys, we've covered this with Redaction in the Week and Colleen, who was on the show last night. But obviously, it's been a week since we spoke, 2 weeks for us, Yem. News breaking that Arsenal are keen to explore expansion plans. It could be one of 2 options. Either we stay in the stadium and have a reduced capacity of 40,000 a week while we try and expand by 10,000 to get to 70, or we tear it all down, move to Wembley for a couple of years and go all again. Does the idea of expansion appeal to you, Yem?
Again, do I want to go through the pain again of construction? No, but given the competition of what's going on, it's an absolute must. I mean, Real Madrid's renovations have now netted them the highest match day revenues in club football. We were pretty high up there. So given that there's a season ticket waiting issue, there's, clearly at the moment attendance is a full. It's what we have to do to stay competitive, because unfortunately, since the Emirates opened up in 2006, it's all changed, doesn't it? Tottenham Stadium now nets them the biggest revenues, but are they as popular as us? No, they're not. It's not even close. So we need to keep the pace with what's going on. That's just the reality of it. And is it going to be painful? Yes, because neither option is ideal. You're either losing a load of fans or you're moving people to Wembley, which me and you have done before. Obviously, we've been to Wembley for Arsenal games. It's not the easiest. And Wayne's done it. We've done it for finals, etc. We love the day out, but it's a nightmare as a travel piece. So look, neither option is good, but it's about the longevity. We had this in 2006 where we thought about the longevity to this point. But the game is moving so quickly, and our popularity, because of the work that Mikel Arteta and Josh Kroenke and all of that have done, has elevated us into this new area where we have to maximize. This is why the board has changed. This is why we've got these video streaming, why we've got Mali to push us into this area. We want we talked about it as well, the SoFi Stadium kind of levels of stadium interaction. We love the Emirates, but it is dated. There are elements of it that need upgrading urgently, and you don't want to fall into the trap that Man United have got, which is they're now in a state where it's really hard for them to upgrade Old Trafford to be modern, so they have to renovate it. So I think we are getting to the point very quickly. But yeah, not my ideal scenario, but it's absolutely needed. It has to happen.
I've said this a couple of times, so for those of you that tune in every day, apologies for repeating myself, but when I see stadiums like the Bernabeu, when I see the SoFi Stadium, even that lot up the road, I think to myself, wow, these are magnificent feats of architecture, stadiums of elite quality for the modern game and for the modern fan experience. You know, they're amazing, they're comfortable, they're luxurious, they're state of the art, the Wi-Fi works, the seats are comfortable, the refreshments are amazing, and like, you know, the big screens, the retractable roofs, the versatility of the stadium to be used for concerts and generate income. Spurs have one of the highest revenues as a football club, even though they're abysmal on the pitch. But like, we're falling behind because we can't host the big cup finals. We can't host that many concerts. You know, it's really limiting. For me personally, I find it bonkers that the Emirates Stadium is now almost 20 years old. But despite only being a couple of decades old, you know, here we are sort of talking about seats fading and Wi-Fi not working and bits of the stadium falling apart and getting old and tatty. The other thing is that we're now the 5th biggest stadium in the UK. You know, West Ham, Old Trafford, the Etihad Stadium, Anfield. You know, these are big stadiums. Etihad obviously having their new Spurs. Etihad having their new stand unveiled in a couple of months' time. So, you know, there is maybe a bit of work to do. And look, I recognize we're a completely gargantuan club, right? Huge fan base, massive ticket waiting list, and it would give our members many more games. But I think it all comes down to what impact it would have on potential spend, what impact it would have on our competitiveness, because I feel that what we've been doing over the last few years is phenomenal, and I would hate to go through the Arsene Wenger years again. Wayne, unless you've got any closing thoughts to kind of add to that, I do want to move on to games overseas and get your thoughts on that first. But just before we do, stadium, I mean, you've been in club level, enjoying your view and your prawn sandwiches on a match day and whatnot from that. So, you know, looking down on the riffraff, would you be averse to them, you know, ruining your view anymore by having more riffraff in the ground?
I mean, I can't really relate to some of your issues. I've got leg room. I've got good Wi-Fi. I don't know what
you got Wi-Fi in club.
Yeah, of course we do.
Why have you never told us the password?
Not in
What's going on?
It's not in the seats. Like, you can't use it
Oh,
when
you
you're
have to be
sitting
in the
down. It's
concourse.
it's indoors. But yeah, it works perfectly fine. I don't know what the problem is. No, my biggest concern with whether we go bigger or move completely is I remember the stadium when it was bad. This was before I was lucky enough to be a season ticket holder, but I felt like a season ticket holder because I could get seats every single week because we were not good. And yes, we're very, very good now, and I don't expect us to drop off like that again. But with football, you never know. Like, if we have a situation again where we're like, say, for example, Manchester United, we're not consistently top 4, we're not challenged for titles, we finish sort of mid-table in sort of the near future, whatever it might be. I don't know if we have the fan base to fill a 70, 80, 90, 100 seater stadium, 100k seater
You don't
stadium.
think so?
No, I don't think so. I know that we've got amazing sort of season ticket waiting lists. I know that we've got the whole ballot situation is always a cause for concern, but I feel as though it's different when you're good. And right now we're good, so everyone wants to go. I don't necessarily think there will be that appetite there if we're not so good. Now, fingers crossed, we improve the stadium to whatever capacity and we stay good and competitive, so then we'll never need to worry about that conversation. But my worry is if we do go up and have a new stadium and go up to 90,000, look at sometimes, we'll never be as bad as West Ham, but look at sometimes what happens to the West Ham stadium. When they're bad, it's empty, and you can tell. Like, we'll always have our majority season ticket holders, but I don't know. I just don't know if people will. I don't know if that's like a long-term solution with some of our fan base. I think it's the hot thing right now to kind of want to go regularly.
The only thing is that we know, all of us know that any expansion will be about a third almost seat, general seats for, club level, etc. The majority will be focused on hospitality. That's the focus. because that's where the money is. That's just the reality of football now. You know, if you look, you know, it's.
Here's where I
Sorry,
think it would work. And I would have reservation if it was to be aimed towards hospitality and the richer, wealthier fan. Obviously, the club is not going to do it because it would be negligent from a commercial perspective. But if you're going to get to 80K, you know, reduce the price tickets, make more season tickets. Let's have more members going to games. Let's have more kids going to games. Protect the future of the club, the future generation of supporters. Have proper supporter zones where you've got proper singing ends and singing areas, and give the Ashburton Army more seats, and give the North Bank like just bigger vibes by having a bigger stand. Like, I think that's the only way you're going to work. If you're going to fill it with, and I don't want to use the word tourist, but if you're going to fill it with the sort of, you know, the sort of happy-go-lucky, what do you fancy doing on a Saturday afternoon? Oh, get to the Arsenal. Let's go and be entertained. No, I want proper supporters coming to watch Arsenal. Doesn't matter where you are from around the world. It's amazing if people fly in from Australia and the Middle East and America. No problem at all. But you've got to be an Arsenal fan. You've got to contribute to the atmosphere. You've got to be there because you want to be there, not because you may, you know, work somewhere where they've got 6 tickets, you know, free as part of a hospitality.
Do you know what? The one thing I want, if please Arsenal, please do this, is away fans top of the stadium. I do not want them.
I don't mind that. I don't know why everyone.
I know, because every other club does it to us.
No. Yeah, it's only Newcastle who do it because they haven't got a division in the concourse on the lower level. So,
you know, I just want them up.
Well, no, you have to. Emirates obviously protects the away fans, and that's why. Paul James says, I think an 80,000 seater stadium is as big as Islington Council are likely to agree. Do you know who the Prime Minister supports? Look here, you haven't got much right, but if you're going to do something for us. All right, let's talk. Here, go on.
Sorry, one more thing. The only thing
to caveat, mate. Yeah, we got all night, mate. Just before you do.
No, the last thing to caveat is that there is obviously the transport situation, because we know that if the stadium upgrades,
the transport's not going to change him.
No, but as in the stadium, I think there is
it's already 24 hours, Jeff. What are you talking about? No, what are you talking about?
The size of the Arsenal station. I think there has to be some renovation that goes onto it to allow for the expanded crowd.
Very sensible. I'll see you at the planning application meeting at Islington Council, Yembele. Right. Fucking hell. I've only got about 12 slides left. Everyone in the chat is very sort of sorry, I don't want to offend you. I don't want to upset you. He's going to send me a text.
You already did that with the turkey talk. I've already done.
I know. Asif says Wayne is spot on. Look how easy tickets were last year after we had no chance of winning the league. That's always the case. Reduced prices. No chance. I know, Manny. That's why I said that. You know, it would be negligent from a commercial perspective. If I was a commercial director responsible for generating income for the club, and I was giving tickets away, or, you know, a tenner to go and see Arsenal, fans would be happy, but fans would be livid when Andrea Berta didn't have money for 4 of the players that we bought in the summer. Paul James says standing areas would be nice. I mean, we practically stand in the North Bank pretty much every week. And Funny Gunner 83 says this is going to be an all-nighter stream. Yeah, it will be. Let's talk about games overseas. So again, for those of you that might have been maybe asleep this week or just missed it in the news, Villarreal and Barcelona, the competitive fixture in La Liga, has been moved to be played in Miami. And equally in Serie A, AC Milan versus Como is going to be played in Australia. I think this is dangerous, chaps. And I'll tell you why shortly. But what do you guys? I mean, you're both shaking your head. So, Wayne, why don't you go first? What's your thoughts on this? What's your take?
It's just absolute stupidity, really. If they're league games, especially, it's just absolute nonsense. I don't understand why this is a thing. Well, that's a lie. To be fair, for Serie A and for La Liga, I understand why it's a thing. They need as much money as possible. The Premier League doesn't need this. We have as much money as we need. We continually get more. Whenever the TV deals up, we'll have more money than we've even got now as a league. We don't need this. If you're having this sort of conversation about, you know how much I love the Carabao Cup, but if you want to have Carabao Cup games overseas and can make it work logistically, I'm all for having that potential conversation. Even then, I don't really want that. But to have league games overseas is just absolutely mental to me, and it's just getting to a stage really where things are just getting a little bit stupid with some of the ideas and some of the the ways that money is just controlling where the players go, where the clubs go, and things like that. It's just, yeah, I don't mind it for pre-season. I don't like Arsenal playing Spurs in pre-season, but I understand it for the American fans, the Singapore fans, wherever it is we might go on a pre-season tour. For a competitive game, in a league game, which probably means more than anything at that time in the season, yeah, it's just silly. And I don't really know where you draw the line, because once they have one international game, you need to have, if Barcelona go abroad, you need to have Real Madrid go abroad. And then if you have Real Madrid and Barcelona go abroad, Atletico Madrid have to go abroad, because you can't only give the money to those two clubs just because they're the biggest. That's just not fair. So yeah, I don't know where you draw the line, but I just don't like where it's going.
Duke Woot says, does anyone know why this guy's being so rude? Who are you talking about, Duke Woot? You talking about me? If you are talking about me, then Yembele absolutely deserves it, let's be honest. Overseas games. The reason why I'm concerned is because a little bit of what Wayne said, once you do one, it kind of sets a precedent, and other clubs will want to do it from a commercial perspective. I mean, we saw, some of the English clubs, they go out in the summer, they go and do 1 or 2 games a week in, let's say, the middle or far east, and they get 20 million quid, and they come back, and it's just a money making thing. Now we know that La Liga and Serie A are absolutely crippled financially. The Premier League, like Wayne says, is absolutely on fire. Money is going to get bigger and bigger. Netflix apparently in talks, Amazon in talks with proper streams after Sky maybe lose their rights in the next sort of 2-3 years time. What I'm nervous about is that we have a number of foreign owners of Premier League football clubs. I believe we're one shy away from the magic number 14 that is basically needed to pass any vote through. I suspect if anything was ever brought to the table that Parliament would get involved. I don't know. I would hope. Wishful thinking, perhaps. But is this a true fear for you, Yem? Would you be open to letting some of our fans across the world enjoy what we experience, what we're lucky to experience week in, week out?
Look, I get that we've got an international fan base who want to watch, the team, but it's such a dangerous slope. It just feels like we had this a couple of years ago with the Super League, which came out of nowhere, and the vitriol that came after that, rightly so, was, stunned the clubs, almost most of the clubs. This feels like another just kind of more insidious way to get towards that goal by justifying, look, the games are going here. Look at the demand. Here's the money. If we set up the Super League, it'll be like this, more money, more money. And it just feels like that's what they're trying to do. UEFA are saying this is a special case. I don't believe it. I think money's talking here again. And I don't like where it's going towards. The game is already swimming in money, and it's kind of dangerous because we're losing the integrity of the sport in multiple ways. Look at the Man City piece at the moment, and the charges there, all of this kind of stuff. It just feels the game is being lost, and maybe it's the idealist in me that's saying, look, the sport should be purer, but going abroad, and I'm not trying to be detrimental to our international fans, for a league, a national league game just doesn't sit well with me. International friendlies, it's a special occasion. You can set that up. But when it's the national league, it should be being played in the country of origin. And I mean that for any country. La Liga, the Dutch league, the Malaysian league, wherever that is, that should all be played in country. That's the whole point of national football, to encourage children to come up to play football. That's the original premise of football. It just feels to me like it will happen in the most insidious way possible, like the Super League. All of a sudden, someone will say, we're doing it. And it will be one of these clubs that you go, oh, great. Arsenal, Josh Kroenke has said it will never happen. I get the feeling that if the money will talk, whether that happens or not. But it's just, I'm not a big fan of it. I never want to see it outside of it, because it just feels wrong. Why are we putting the air miles in to go and serve someone, just some executive's idea of making more money out of someone, rather than being a community club. Clubs are supposed to be about the community, and it just doesn't feel like that.
I have no issue with clubs trying to make money. I think Nelson asked the question, what's wrong with making extra money? The clubs should be commercial. They should try and do whatever they can as long as it's not exploiting fans and, sort of disrupting player welfare. For me, the playing a league game overseas is not even about that. I think there are two things. A, fairness. We follow a league that is decided upon 19 home games, 19 away games. When we play away from home, if you play in a different country, that's completely wrong. I've got kids. Out now. My kids aren't asleep. What's going on? Do you know what? His mum's.
Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world,
because
Faisal.
I broke the vase.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah, thank you. So fairness, and secondly, it's quite sacred. Like we follow a sport that is an English sport, English clubs. Now, I'm lucky that I was born here, live here, privileged enough to go to games. I get that. It's that's something. I'm just lucky compared to someone who maybe supports Arsenal, in a different country. Like I get that. I didn't deserve it. It's just happened. But there is something sort of sacrosanct, sacred, whatever the word is, about it being played in the country of origin, and it is a domestic competition in this country, and that's the way it should be. I know, kids, everyone's coming out. Sam says the dad voice came out. Yeah, you got to lay down that. These are the fogging standards, guys. That's what I felt short of saying that. But anyway, look, my flow's ruined. Thanks, children. But essentially, I don't like it, don't want it, and yeah. That's it. That's the end of that.
Do you think it will happen? Do you think it will happen, both of you? That's the interesting question.
Premier League? I don't think the Premier League will be overseas. I'm hoping the Carabobbin, so we don't have to see Wayne anymore.
We're flying first class. What do you mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Latte Fairmont tour. I think
Walid will be there. Walid will be there straight away, won't he? He'll be like, "I'll book you a flight already."
What I would say, how is someone at the door? What's going on?
One kicking off tonight. Domestics for FK, isn't it?
It's the police coming to clean up the vase crime.
Hello? Brother? It's just some bloke.
FK, this is the time to mute right now. This is when you put that mute on because you don't want people hear.
He's just mate, I don't know what's going on. Honestly, I feel like I completely lost the flow. Frauder on Football says evening, guys. Yeah, the question was, is it going to happen? I don't think Premier League will happen. I wouldn't be averse to the Community Shield being rebranded as the English Super Cup. Play that somewhere, South America, Africa, Australia. That would be awesome. But
why is it Australia? Why is Serie A in Australia? Is it a big market for them?
Money, TV rights. I don't know.
Someone in the chat, answer me. Tell us, please,
bro. I'll be honest with you, right? I broke my wife's favorite vase tonight. In case you missed the start of the show, and if this was to happen. I might be buried in my own garden. Right, let's move on to some actual football chat. Bukayo Saka last night. Yeah, it was last night against Wales. Doing what he does best and setting a new record, as we talked about. He is now the all-time high goal-scoring gunner for the Three Lions. Phenomenal. And what a goal. What a goal. You said you missed the game, so let's not even bother with your thoughts on this. But Wayne, you did say you went swimming. Wayne, if you've watched it, the goal, inevitable. What a player. Another award. And to think he's been representing England now for so many years. Phenomenal player.
As we always joke, not bad for a left back, really, is it? Just so good. He's just such a quality player. The fact that people can forget Arsenal for a second, because you'll always get sort of rival fans talking down on our players. The fact that if you're an England fan and you've watched Saka for at least the past 3-4 years, how can anyone suggest that Foden or Palmer or Anthony Gordon or whoever it might be start over this guy? He has been the most consistent, the most regular performer for England for the longest period of time outside of probably Harry Kane. And even then, Harry Kane has disappeared in key moments in big tournaments. So, yeah, he performs for us. He performs for England. He does the job, whether he's at left wing back, like Southgate asked him to do at the last major tournament, or whether he's at home at right wing. It was just such a quality goal. And it's something that I hope we see him do more for us as well. Like, he gets shooting opportunities, but his trademark finish for us seems to be that right foot into the roof of the net at the near post. That's what he kind of tends to do for us more often. And it's brilliant that he's got that. But when he cuts in on that left, he's just so dangerous. Let's just try to get him as many shooting opportunities as possible because he's just that good. And yeah, you say he's been representing England for 6 years. That's mental because he's still a kid. He's still a kid. He doesn't. He's still to us. He's still everyone that supports Arsenal, our son. And yeah, it was brilliant. I was annoyed that he was playing in the first place because I don't want him to play. I want him to come home healthy and wrapped in cotton wool. But it was just phenomenal to see him score like that.
It was indeed. KSSNYW says, I love this. It's the home community of the firm that keeps us coming back. FK, first the kids, then some random at the door. I miss England so much. Haha. Yeah, look, Bukayo Saka is doing bits. Yeah, let's bring you into the chat on B. I mean, a club legend in the making. Last weekend, of course, scoring against West Ham from the spot, taking the ball from Victor Gyökeres. We've talked about that long and hard, but it is 100 up for Saka in the Premier League. So that's 100 goal contributions, goals and assists, 55-45, as you can see. That's in 200 Premier League games, no less. And he is now 8th in that chart, as you can see on the right-hand side, in terms of the 8th player to register 100 Premier League goal contributions for Arsenal. He's just a few away from Pires, Fabregas, Walcott. I mean, look, in the next 2 weeks, given the fixtures we've got, if he stays fit, he might be into the top 5 by the end of October.
Yeah, absolutely. And he should be up there actually already, but injuries did not help him last season. It was the first season actually that he had an extended period out with injury. And it was just at the point where he was really cooking. He was registering a goal or assist every week, pretty much. Do you remember? So he would have been well up there by this season. He's a phenomenal player. He's not even at his top ability yet. You know, again, he's coming back from injury right now. He's admitted that he's not there yet. He's not fully fit yet. So it's phenomenal that the strike last night was one of his trademark strikes, and there's still more to come from it. And I think we can all see that he's not quite there yet, because the Saka when he's on form is unplayable almost. It's kind of scary when he's at his top form, like he was at the start of last season. There is nothing you can do to stop him. Even when he's not playing well, he'll get you a goal or assist somewhere. And I think that's a testament to him, that you see him in games where he is the main man, but then you see him in games where he isn't, but he suddenly pops up out of nowhere with a header at the back post or a trademark strike. That's the true mark of a really great player. When they're not even playing well, they still turn up in the games and in the big games. The one thing about England with Saka is he turns up in the big games. Look, we all talk about the penalty, unfortunately, in the final, and that's one event, but he's a young boy. But who else has turned up in the big games than Saka? Even, as you boys said, Harry Kane does not turn up in the big games. It's Saka all the time. That's the one who they rely on. And any manager who's tried, only Noni Madueke recently, in hot form, looked a little bit close to Saka. No one else has come close because he just keeps delivering. And that's what he does. People say, oh, he's not flashy. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. He gets you goals and assists. What more do you want? Tracks back. His work rate is phenomenal. If you don't watch him and understand, I don't get where the banter comes from, because the boy tracks back like so mad, and then gets back up the field. His engine is phenomenal. He will be one of the true greats. It's just keeping him fit. Hopefully this season with the expanded squad, he'll get that chance, but probably one of the best academy players we've ever produced in terms of what he could be eventually.
Wayne, AFC 777 says Saka's still got a couple more levels to go. Scary, but not for us. I mean, could he? How much better can he get? And I guess my last question about Saka is, how high can he climb this ladder that you can see on screen?
How many levels he can go? Like someone said, I think he's only at about 70% match fitness right now. Remember him at the start of last season? He was playing like one of the best players in the world. Whether he was getting goals, assists, the way he was creating chances, like there were times at the start of last season where he would just put us on his back and do something to give us the lead, to score a goal, to create something. And he was just brilliant at the start of last season. And he's nowhere near that at the moment. And that's the level he can get to alone this season. And I still think that he's in the conversation with the Salahs, the Yamals, Saka on that right wing. I don't think there's, apart those three are the standouts. I don't think there's really anyone else. He still needs to put in numbers like Salah has done over the past sort of 4 or 5 years, but ability wise, he's absolutely got everything to do that. I just think we as a team need to get him in those positions to create more shooting opportunities for him, get him a little bit closer to goal, because you know he can take on 2-3 defenders. He's been doing it for the past 5 years, whether he's been double team, triple team, and still coming away with a goal or assist. That sort of number on the right hand side is mental, to think that he's already at 8 at such a young age. And I know that Fabregas was there at such a young age as well, but there is no reason realistically where, if he stays healthy and he signs his new contract and is with us for another sort of 4 or 5 years, there is no reason he can't finish in the top 2. There's not, on sort of his averages that he's been doing as a right winger, he can absolutely reach that Dennis Bergkamp number, again, assuming that he's healthy. He's only scored what this season? 2 goals this season? You got 2 goals this season, I think. Last year he scored. He still scored like 12 to 15, despite missing like half the season through injury. If he does that this year, that's already him above Theo Walcott. Just with 7 goals. 7 goals alone this season, or 4 goals, 3 assists. He's above Theo Walcott this season. That's mental. It's absolutely mental. So yeah, stay fit for another 4 or 5 years. He could absolutely reach the Dennis Bergkamp number. I don't think anyone will ever touch number 1. I think that's kind of away and gone. But yeah, just sign the contract, stay fit, and he'll just go shooting up that list.
All I'm going to say about Sax is, obviously everyone knows how much I love him. We love him. Indy Barge, perfect comment. We are watching a legend creating his legacy. We should enjoy every single game of this player. Personally, I think the ceiling is just not there for him, Wayne. This guy can achieve whatever he wants at Arsenal Football Club. He's 24. If he goes another 6, 7, 8 years at Arsenal and he stays fit, God willing, there is absolutely no doubt in my mind, if Arteta is still at the helm and we're still top two all the way through, this guy's he's gonna beat Thierry's record. And that would be so satisfying, because we all love Thierry Henry. But for a boy to come from our academy and to climb through the ranks and to be a local boy and such a lovable boy and such a humble boy, to do that would just be fairy tale stuff. So Bukayo Saka, it's yours, my friend. Just go for it, and go and get it. Let's move on to the Barclays chat before we end the show on our sort of one signing for January. The greatest show of all, ladies and gents. We are missing, sadly, because of international break. So it's Vibes FC. But this courtesy, in fact, I'm just going to give you the exact name. Frederick is incredible on Twitter. And just in case you guys are unaware, he does lots of graphics. His name's Frederick. He is at @F_edits. And what he's been doing is like a collage of every game for every match weekend. There's a lot of stuff happening on screen, but if you're looking closely, you can see some real emotion. You can see the Arsenal scores in there. Arsenal, of course, City 1-1. That was our game 3 games ago. Newcastle away, beating them 2-1. Gabriel Magalhaes with the celebration there. And then, of course, on the right-hand side, beating West Ham as we start a run of good games. I mean, we'll get into title race and relegation and how the Premier League has sort of grabbed you. But what's your, I guess, Q1 review of Arsenal? Wayne, I mean, we're top of the league. Liverpool have obviously, 3 defeats on the bounce. I love this from Manny. A Lion King moment. That's what I'm talking about. Go on, Simba. Go get your thing, man. So, yeah, what a season it's been. What I love about it most? Jeopardy is back. Everything's so unpredictable. Palace and Bournemouth doing bits. West Ham 19th and United in the middle, and Chelsea unexpectedly beating Liverpool, and Newcastle getting good again, and we are just taking it by storm. The Barclays is unmatched, as V Vlad says. I mean, what have you made of it, Wayne? What's your take on Arsenal first 7 games?
I've enjoyed us, particularly after the first international break. I think that first stretch before the international break, where we had sort of United at Old Trafford and then we played Liverpool at Anfield, that was a little bit a little bit tedious, I suppose, to watch us play at the time, just because all of our new signings weren't bedded in. We didn't see the squad in the way that we've seen them in the last sort of 6 or 7 games. But after the last international break, we've come back 6 wins, 1 draw. We've gone through in the Carabao Cup. We're top of the league, and we're playing a style of play that I think a lot of us as Arsenal fans believe in a little bit more, and we can see the bigger picture with it. And we got all of our signings in before the window closed, and everyone was impressed with the amount of money we spent. Not only the amount of money we spent, but who we brought in, and we're top of the league now. If you think back to last season, after 7 games, we actually had, I think, 1 more point than we do now, but we were down in 3rd. And we played Man City and we played Brighton, and the feeling around the club just wasn't there, mostly because of the referees. But now we're kind of in a position where we've been so impressive against sides that have previously given us trouble. West Ham at home have beaten us the last 2 years. We just kind of dispatched them comfortably and in a boring fashion that I think Red Action on Twitter previously said, you have those 2-0 boring afternoons, you'll be very happy at the end of the season. And it's absolutely true. And then you see the result against Newcastle, the way that we came back, the fact that we won at St James's Park, something that we haven't done consistently over the last few years. It just brought about sort of a different mentality from the squad. So I'm happy with the start. I think we've still got a couple more gears to go. I think we do need to work on sort of attacking play a little bit more. We've got a striker that we need to feed a lot more, get sort of more opportunities on goal. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the next stretch of games after the international break, before the 3rd international break of the season, because I think there's still a bit more to come from us. But I've been really impressed with how we've navigated the Q1, as you put it there.
Yeah, Manny says Q1 improving. Still want us to be more aggressive in the final third, more patterns, keep the rotation going. Of course, the squad that we have. While Wayne was talking, I brought up a brilliant graphic courtesy of obviously the Premier League on the left-hand side, the league table, which we'll come back to. But courtesy of Scott Willis, who is at Cannon Stats on socials. You guys know he gives his images we use on our shows regularly. This is the Premier League points tally, performance compared to corresponding fixtures from last season. So matching how a team has done compared to the matching fixture. So same team, same location from last season. And you can see, if you sort of scroll down, from Bournemouth and Sunderland and Spurs, who've had a really good start to the season. City, ominous, 6 points better off in the same fixtures this season than they were last. But Arsenal, 5 points better off already. I mean, to Wayne's point, West Ham have caused us so much pain, but we dispatched them fairly easily in 31 more games like that, and we'll be very, very happy. Yeah, what do you make of our start to the league?
Oh, yeah, it's been very impressive. I mean, again, the defensive solidity, if you look at it, we've conceded to Erling Haaland, who's a robot, and an amazing free kick from Dominic Szoboszlai. So, again, the defensive work that's being done is amazing. Again, as Wayne has put it multiple times, that game against West Ham is what you want. Saturday afternoon, 2-0 against an opponent in the last 2 years who've been a problem. And we said that, Fires, didn't we? The whole way to the game, I didn't like this game last year. I didn't like this game the year before. I didn't like it that weekend. But Arsenal choked the game out. And that's what you want. If we do that for every team, like the Fulhams, the Crystal Palaces next week, I'll be very happy, because that's the kind of way that you go about winning the title. You don't want to have your heart attack moments where you get a 3-2 or 4-3, etc. Exciting for the neutrals, yeah. But I'm an Arsenal fan. I want Arsenal to win games the easiest way possible, and if that's choking the opponent out, done. I'm fine with that. It's a case of now the usual stuff for Arsenal. Can we keep players fit? Can we make good rotations? Because we've been able to do it to a degree, not to maybe the degree we were thinking. Because unfortunately, when Noni Madueke went down, luckily Saka came back at that point. But you would have hoped that if Noni Madueke was fit, there would be a little bit more rotation to provide that option. Kai Havertz needs to be back sooner rather than later, because Victor Gyökeres looks dead on his feet. So you just hope that we can get the key players back. Erdegaard, it's just an unfortunate calamity of injuries, because again, he looked like he was on form. All of these points last year would have killed us off already. This year, we're built differently. Now, again, injuries can always ravage every team. So we've just got to make sure, as loads of people have said, the rotations are good. Trying to keep Calafiori fit. There's so many things that could go wrong, but there's so far, Mikel's done a really good job of managing that Premier League, Champions League piece. We need to keep that going because it's now, after this period, it goes into overdrive. There is the international break, but we start to get into that run of Wednesday, Saturday, calling, Carabao Cup, Champions League, all of these games. We need to make use of the Norgards, those players who haven't had those many minutes, Wanyeris, the Max Daumans. Get them minutes, get them playing. We need to win. Crystal Palace, this one's a big one this weekend because Crystal Palace are a very good team. And we did lose we lost to them last season, didn't we, at the Emirates? Or was it a draw?
Draw.
It was a draw. But again, those are the games we have to win. So you're looking to win those games and to move on because this points tally, great for a start. But we know that the season is not this easy. We've already lost to Liverpool, which we drew last season. So now it's a case of go back to the big games where you know what you do, what you need to do, but push on in the games where we lost last season. The Fulhams, the Crystal Palaces, these games, get them done, dusted. Because the prize at the end is massive for us. So it's what we need. Sorry if I am offending people by this thing, joking. Again, it's in a football sense.
Grown men watching WWF. Both of you. Scandalous. Indy Barge says, Q1 review. The potential of the team has been at the highest of its current cycle. The summer approach has been vindicated. We have a stacked squad, of course. We just have to focus on the next game in front of us each week, and we have some very good fixtures coming up soon. Nathan asks, Norgard, Mosquera, where is Nkapie? His debut is coming soon. Let me tell you, Jonathan K knows. Debut is loading. I can't wait. Ray Beam says, time to get a winning run going. And feature with a believer says, spot on EM. Look, I just want to give the graphic on the right a little bit more attention. Bournemouth, stunning start to their season. Sunderland and Spurs, 9, 8, 7 points respectively better off. City, 6 points better off in the same fixtures, the same team, same location from last season. Everton, already a good start to their season as well. And Arsenal, if you go down towards the middle, Liverpool there, only a point better off. Still better off, to be fair, in the same fixtures from last season. But, of course, they had massive points tally last year, so they were really good. What's really interesting is if you scroll down, Manchester United are 4 points worse off in those same corresponding fixtures from last season, which doesn't bode well for them because they, of course, finished, 17th? 15th? Can't remember what it was.
3 more years, people. 3 more years.
3 more years, baby. Can't wait. They might actually be League Two by that point.
I love it. I love that.
I can't wait.
Adarim can still do it for us. He can still get us out of this.
Oh, I can't wait. Let's have a look at the league table. We'll leave the title race to the next slide, but let's start with the bottom. Burnley, West Ham, of course, Nuno Espirito Santo and Wolves firmly rooted to the bottom. Who do we think are going down? I mean, I'll start the conversation flowing. I think West Ham are going to get out of it. I think Nuno Espirito Santo is a good coach. Plenty of game time left. They're an abysmal team, but they will get out of it. I think Burnley and Wolves, are almost certainties for me. Wolves are abysmal. Burnley, they just have a penchant for going down and coming up and going down and coming up. They are the yo-yo team. And, it's the other one's so difficult to call. I mean, if it's not Manchester United, wow, really difficult to tell. Who do you guys fancy for relegation? Chat, let me know. What are the three teams that you think are going to go down?
Go on, yeah.
This is a hard one to call because Nottingham Forest, if they get a revenge quickly, possibly get out of it because they've got a good team. But
so with Ange, you think they might go down?
Yeah, I think that I think Ange is really already starting to cause problems in terms of destabilizing. Look, he had a team with a better quality of player, and he finished 17th. That tells you everything. That he's candidate, but Wolves definitely. I think Burnley, they're a yo-yo club. I still think Leeds are there to. I don't think there's still enough about them. I don't think I see enough yet. I think at Ellen Road they're strong, but I think as the season progresses, I think they're still going to struggle.
Lots of people saying Nottingham Forest have too much quality. One or two people saying Leeds. Vig's welcome. Sorry, I didn't notice you before. Wolves, Burnley, and Leeds. I think Sunderland's good start, and of course Granit Xhaka. I mean, come on, they are certainty to stay up. I don't think it'll be West Ham, but Wayne, I think there's going to be one big club that finds itself in trouble, whether it's Forest or Leeds. Are obviously a massive club. Could it be a Fulham?
Brentford.
Wayne, what are you thinking? Brentford, without Thomas Frank, they look all over the gaff.
I think Wolves and Burnley are in trouble. I agree with the majority, with Yem and the majority of the chat. I think Wolves and Burnley are in trouble. I don't know about Nottingham Forest because I don't know how they'll I know that they've kind of got a massive squad numbers wise, but I don't know how they'll navigate Europe and the league. I think it will have an impact on the league, especially if they start winning in Europe. If they get knocked out of the Europa early, then they'll probably end up staying up. Leeds, I don't think can score consistently. They're relying on Calvert-Lewin, who is just beyond past it. Brentford hired Keith Andrews, and I don't know if he's enough to stay up. I'm really annoyed actually that West Ham sacked Potter because Potter was taking them down, and that would have been so brilliant. But yeah, I'm with you. I think Nuno keeps them up. Do you know the big one potentially to be concerned about? And it's sad because of Uncle. But I'm a bit worried about Villa.
He's gonna
I'm a bit worried about Villa. The reason I'm a bit worried about Villa is because you never really... No.
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 Yeah, go on.
They've got like the exact same starting 11 as they had like 4 years ago.
They're so bad.
And I don't understand how it's come to that. I don't understand how they've got in that situation. So I think they'll probably have enough quality to get out of it, but it wouldn't surprise me if they had like a finish in between sort of 12th to 16th. I don't see them making a European run like they've done in the past.
So do you think even with Ange, Nottingham Forest will still have a chance? Because that's a free fall.
Well, listen, he could well win the championship in his second season. So he would honour that trophy.
Yeah.
Lady. Nice point, Sharov. I think so many people have said Forest have got so much quality. Chris Wood, Gibbs White, Hudson Odoi. They're really, really good team. And I don't think maybe last season was exceptional for them, and Nuno did such a great thing. But I think I think they're too good to stay up. I think Brentford for me. Losing Thomas Frank was massive. Losing Ivan Toney was massive. Brian Mbeumo, Wissa. I couldn't even tell you who they've bought to replace these guys. And there just feels to be a very sort of dull cloud hanging out. I mean, look, every team beats Manchester United, right? I know they beat United the other week. But I feel Brentford are the ones that I think are at biggest risk. I'd quite like Fulham to go down. Sunderland, I think they've started really well. 11 points. They only need to get another sort of 25, 30 points. I think they'll be safe. And with Granit Xhaka at the helm. Yeah.
If they go down, that ring doorbell will see me.
It's not going to happen. Love it. Ian says Sunderland. I think their fall off is soon. Jonathan says Brentford is a great shout. Sheriff saying Brentford are strong at home. That might save them. Yeah, I mean, look, all the clubs will say that they're strong at home, but it's going to be a really enthralling relegation race. I think West Ham are going to get out soon, and I think the other clubs are going to be looking behind them pretty much most weeks. The only other question I've got is United. Top half finish this year, or sort of relegation sort of battle again, like sort of last year? What do we think?
I think if they finish in the top 10, they've actually had a good season. Not historically.
Mate, that'd be a huge achievement.
Yeah,
they are shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they'll be outside the top 10, just slightly, but
I don't think they make top half this year. United.
Neither do I.
They don't have the money to go out in January either to spend. They spent everything on that attack.
Yeah, I think they're done. Genuinely, I think they're done. I think United.
They can't even. They got knocked out by Grimsby, and they got knocked out by Grimsby, so they can't even scam a Carabao.
I know. Wolves are definitely getting relegated, says Jaika. Forgive me if I've ruined your name. Umair says, why the Fulham hate? I don't hate them. It's just they take points off us every fucking year. So it'd be nice.
We got
if
Fulham
they went
away. We
down.
got Fulham away, haven't we?
I
Shortly.
know, after the international break. There we go. Vig says United 12th for me. They're not going to finish the top 10. Yeah, I don't think they will either. Right, let's focus on the top end of the table end that we belong at. And I did this with Colleen last night. Look, mixed fortunes for these guys. Arne Slot, despite his incredible skincare regime, 3 defeats on the bounce. Long may that continue. Enzo Maresca, I had a typo. I called him Maresco the other day. Maresca leading Chelsea to an injury time winner. And just on the celebration, love to see it. You know, the game, as much as I despise Chelsea, I hate Maresca. I hate everything about that club. But that celebration where he ran into the fans and ran away with the players along the sort of throw-in line, that's what you want to see. And then for him not to be interviewed after the game because of the red card, farcical. You want to hear from him in those moments. Why did you lose your nut, mate? Oh, fantastic. Pep Guardiola, he's got the bit between his teeth. Erling Haaland is absolutely sensational. And, of course, the gaffer. Look at him. Look at him. So, chaps, I mean, Yem, let's start with you. The Big Four, the title race. Where's he going to go?
At the moment, you'd have to say we are looking strong favourites because of the depth of the squad. I think we have the ability to change games much better than most of the other teams. If Man City are not firing, if Erling Haaland's injured, who else do they have? It's a real problem for them. I think that they have a single point of failure, but Haaland's injury record is not amazing. He has got injuries. Liverpool worry me in terms of they will click at some point. It's definitely unbalanced at the moment. Isak, unfit, has not scored. But as well as that, they're trying to crowbar in Florian Wirtz, and that's just not working. Salah's off form. There are a number of things there. And they're a Van Dijk injury away from having no defence, particularly, and relying on Konate being the leading defender, which you do not want. Chelsea, I think, are just a bit too inconsistent all the time. You never know what week you're going to get from what Chelsea are going to get each week. I think, Esteval, you've got very good young players like Esteval, but I think Liverpool, in that Liverpool game against Liverpool are bad enough that they showed their problems. I mean, look at what Crystal Palace did to them the week before. I think we're certainly strong contenders for the Premier League. I still think Man City are the ones who maybe run close this season, just because they have if they can get all their players back fit, and I'm talking the Omar Marmoushes, the Rodris, etc. With Haaland, again, you've got at least some defensive solidity and quality there to supplement Haaland, because Marmoush is a very good, goal getter. So I think they're the ones to get there. I think Liverpool are struggling slightly with the imbalance, and I don't know if Slot. We're going to find out if Slot can rectify it, because they've lost a lot of personnel. Quansah, Harvey Elliott, those players that they relied on last season, they don't really have that depth now in the attack to change it as much as they did last season. I think they've still got a very good attack, but it's very different from last season. So yeah, I think City just feel like at the moment they're the ones who are getting closer and closer on the DL almost.
Jonathan Kay just scaring us for shits and giggles. I'm not ready for another satanic City run of 15 games. Someone asked about Erling Haaland. Might he leave if City don't win anything? I mean, the guy has a 9-year contract on like a base of £500,000 a week. I don't think anyone's paying him that much money. Maybe Real Madrid, but I don't think he goes. I think Erling Haaland is Premier League heritage. I think he loves it in England. He loves that club. His dad paid for the club. I can't see him leaving. Unless, of course, the 115 comes along. Whenever are we going to hear that? So, yeah, champions for you, Arsenal. I know it's game week 7.
At the moment, yeah.
Us close, and Liverpool third?
Liverpool third, yeah.
Interesting. Wayne?
Man City are scaring me. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, mate, I ain't going to lie. Honestly, I can't sleep at night. I don't know what's happened to me.
To be, it's not even Man City. Man City aren't scaring me. Haaland and Pep scare me.
Yeah,
do you know what it is? They're scaring me because they're playing football in a way we've never seen them play before, like under Pep. They are playing the way that we kind of maybe think we should play to get Gyökeres playing at his best. Haaland is obviously another level quality of player. Like he is just phenomenal, but they're just lumping it up to him, and he's like, "All right, go score."
If
And then
he
he
ever
goes
got
to
injured,
score.
who have they got? Marmoush? Is that the next?
Yeah,
Is that what they've got?
probably, or they'll probably go back to like Foden false nine or something like that, which it will limit them a bit. And like Yem said rightly, like Haaland has picked up an injury for the past few years while playing for Man City, so he's probably got like a month to 6 week injury in him at some point across the season. But watching them at the moment, and do you know what's great? Like they're still there. They lost what 2 of their first 3 games of the season, and they're still just there. They're still right there. And I think everyone, like that chat said, everyone has the PTSD of Pep and Man City just winning 10, 15, 16 games in a row. And they're just there at the end, despite the fact that they probably
And
shouldn't be.
Donnarumma. I forgot about Donnarumma.
And Donnarumma as well, yeah.
Well, you think about the spine. Donnarumma, obviously their centre backs, Rodri, Haaland. I mean, wow.
Well,
just on
Rodri's
Haaland,
having his
injury
issues
thing.
this year as well, isn't he?
Well, I mean, apparently he's back off the international break, so I don't know if that was.
It's
a
just
deliberate
Donnarumma and
He's done it
Haaland.
on purpose.
It's Donnarumma and
Done on
Haaland.
purpose.
If someone scores you the goal, someone keeps it out. That's all you need. That's all they need now.
Haaland last season missed 8 games, 6 games due to an ankle injury, 2 games due to a knee problem. Season before, missed 13 games, 2 games due to a muscle injury, and 11 due to a stress reaction on the bone. So yes, you're right. In recent seasons, has a history of missing games. Yeah, Doku. I tell you what, he's just out of nowhere, really playing so well. Donnarumma, says Jonathan K, has been a big addition, unfortunately, in every sense of the word. Surname, size, everything. Great player. And City is scary on counterattacks this season, says Tanvir. Yeah, they're very quick in the transition. Tijani Reinders, what a player.
I forgot about Reinders. Right,
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So, Wayne, just champions for you are going to be...
Yeah. I thought it before the season. I still think it now.
Who?
Us.
Okay, got to check with you sometimes.
Check.
It's not going to go for your Arteta out campaign, is it? Second,
Liverpool. I think they've got too much quality.
hang on.
At some
City are
point,
terrifying you, yet you're not putting them in the top 2.
No, because I think at some point Haaland will get injured. I think their midfield is not the best, so I think they'll and defensively they're still quite poor. But right now they're getting away with it because of Donnarumma.
I've just read Karen says Israeli players are going to be mad when they play Norway tomorrow because Norway are donating the profits to a Gaza charity. I didn't even know. Is Odegaard in the squad? Is he injured?
No, he's injured.
No. But they've called it, haven't they? Wasn't there news today that they called him to come and watch or something?
Yeah, he's travelled to watch. Why? Why do you not want him to recover?
What are you doing, bruv? Just stay at home and just get some biryani in you and enjoy your recovery, for fuck's sake. Big up boys, says Tyrell Gunner TV or Tyrell. Let's go with Tyrell. Welcome to the show, my man. Right, let's move on to the January wish list. Oh, let me give you my predictions, by the way. So I'm putting us down as champions. I think this is the year, lads. This is it. We will be there. And you know what? We're going to do a Latte from live when we are celebrating outside Islington Town Hall. And we'll just be the 3 of us going, look at us. Oh, wait. I can't wait for it. Come on, the Arsenal. Come on, Gaffer. Take us to the top.
Walid will be there, but he won't be in shot because he's too small and you can't see him at all.
Yeah, Wally. I don't even be allowed. Like, he'd be like, no kids allowed. Number 14, it's going to be, it's written. Heritage. I think Liverpool are going to have a massive collapse. Can't wait. Slot's going to get what he deserves. I did elite judges. Pep Guardiola, he's got the bit between his teeth. I think he's gonna City are the ones. They're the ones that I fear. Let's be honest. Right, let's wrap up the show. Been going for an hour and 25 minutes. Thank you so many of you watching, still live right now. Hundreds of you watching on YouTube. Please do drop a like in the video. Massive help to the channel, raising its profile. We're on our way to 27,000 subscribers. Fantastic. And for those of you that are still here since the very start, really appreciate you joining and keeping the chat active, which is fantastic. Let's talk about the January window. I asked these boys to give me one signing. If they could have one signing, your one January wish, who would you want Arsenal to sign? They both replied to me privately. And Wayne, You're going to go first. Tell us a little bit about the player before I bring him up on screen.
Well, you didn't allow me to have Erling Haaland. You said
Obviously, so semi-realistic, right? So a player that maybe Arsenal could go if we pushed the boat out and really sort of worked our magic. Haaland is obviously out of the equation.
Yeah, of course. January is notably a very difficult transfer window to navigate, but I do think we do sometimes.
Oh,
why are you doing
I
that?
can't believe.
Why
I
are
did
you
that.
doing that?
Granit Xhaka, I can't believe that's what he said, Jim. Let me read his text.
Did you? No, he did not.
I would
FK,
never.
thank you
Yeah,
for the kind
I would
invite
never.
to tonight's show. Really appreciate it. Obviously, hope you're well. Rate your football knowledge. Oh, thank you for that. Appreciate that. For me, it has to be Granit Xhaka, the anchor, the house keys, the maestro in midfield. He's back in the Premier League, needs to be back at Arsenal. That is my one true wish this January. Please make it happen.
Been stitched up here
I'm
badly.
on
I'm going on strike.
All
I'm
right,
not doing the rest
go
of the
on,
show.
go on. Yeah, let's go back again. Right. Well, what is it?
I think January will start to target maybe some younger profile players. We had a massive summer. We spent a lot of money. We brought in a lot of established names and stars. But I do think that there's some room to bring in some of the younger quality players. And in the summer, we were linked to this player, Malik Fofana of Lyon. And he's a tricky winger, someone that I think will grow with this team, someone that I think will be able to play on either wing, but predominantly on the left-hand side. And I know that we gave Trossard some extra money, not necessarily a year contract increase, but Trossard will probably be on the way out, whether it's in the next sort of 6, 12, 18 months. Gabriel Martinelli is playing quite well at the moment, but he's potentially maybe playing himself into a shop window. We could look to cash in at some point, but Eze is probably the main guy for that left wing in most of our games at the minute. And I think that there's room to go out and sign a young prospect like Fofana, because I just don't see us continuing the level of spend that we had in the summer. I just think it would be very unrealistic to suggest that. And I don't think some of the players, like I've seen sort of Semenyo and players like that suggested in January, I don't think Bournemouth are going to be anywhere near willing to let him go. Whereas a team like Lyon, who looking to make profit at any given time, I think might be a bit more willing to negotiate. So for me, it was to target sort of the young up and coming stars for the next sort of couple of windows, and I'd start with Fofana.
Yeah, I like the idea of that. I think Arsenal should look to sort of, supplement this squad with young talent that we can develop and mold, and again, sort of protecting the future of the club. We still have one of the youngest squads in the Premier League, but I love that idea. Viggs says, wasn't there a report that it's going to be quiet in the January window? Well, look, Bert is going to Bert, and we going to cook, and I can't wait. You know what I'm saying? Yambele, I asked you, and you also said Xhaka, but said, look, I know that's going to be popular. Let's go with, who have you gone for?
I've gone with Frankie de Jong.
Ooh, there's no way we get him from Barcelona.
No.
Tell me why.
Hasn't he just signed a new contract?
No,
Probably.
he hasn't signed yet.
Okay.
Barca can't afford a contract right now. Barca can't even afford a stadium right now, so they got real problems. The reason is that again, if I continue this kind of depth kind of thing that we're working towards, in that we're getting quality in every position. Look, Frankie de Jong has always been one of my favorite players. I love the style of play, what he is. What's been the big hurdle for us looking at him is obviously his wages and the time he's got there. His wages are extraordinary, but his contract is up in 6 months, and Barca, as I said, can't afford it at the moment. So there is an opportunity, but I do appreciate that Frankie de Jong, Martin Zubimendi, Martin Odegaard, Declan Rice, that's a superstar midfield, and you have to cram it. You can only have 3 players in there. But what it would give you is that kind of ringleader that could play the Martin Odegaard position if he needs to, the Zubimendi position if he needs to. He can play all those areas, some of them to a better degree than others. So, for example, he plays the deep role that Zubimendi plays very well. Maybe won't do as well in the Odegaard position, but just his quality and the style he would bring would be amazing for me. But again, I appreciate that there isn't a level an up to him because he may ask for stupid wages, and I wouldn't be there. But he would be my ideal signing for the summer. I did say the obvious, which is obviously Antoine Semenyo, because he's just a machine at the moment, and a left winger that supports Arsenal and would want to join the club at a heartbeat, but obviously they're asking for 100 million, which we're not going to pay out.
We'd never pay 100 million, Yembele. Come on.
Only for a special player. And he was so good.
That's all I'm saying.
That's gonna.
That's all I'm saying. Listen, you beat me to the punch. Lots of people have beat me to the punch. Colleen and I did a deep dive into Antoine Semenyo and why we think he is the missing piece of this puzzle. The sort of cherry on the Bakewell tart. Like, this could be the one that we go for. Everyone's shouting it. Semenyo or Yildiz. Bournemouth ain't selling their player. Boo to you, Shorov. Too many wingers, says Jonathan K. Semenyo not happy. Boo to you, Jonathan, as well. And Tyrell bringing it back. Semenyo. Yes, this is the one for me, gents. And this player excites me. We've been talking about it for maybe a few months, ever since Sky Sports did their end of calendar year team of the year last year. If you remember, Carragher, Neville and Dave Jones. Dave Jones as a presenter is a class act, let me tell you. We message each other on LinkedIn all the time. He's fabulous. He's just fabulous. But anyway, forget that. Little plug for LinkedIn. This guy, out of possession, is a monster, right? He is a pressing demon. His yards that he covers, the grass that he eats up, the intensity at which he presses, his out of possession football is sensational and has only improved during his time at Bournemouth. And on the ball, the guy has developed, I think, into one of the most threatening and explosive wide players in the league. He can run with the ball at speed. He can take on his defenders for fun. He's not ambidextrous, ambipedal. Pedal, is that right, Yembele? You're the dictionary.
Yeah,
pedal, there you go. You can play with both feet, left and right. There you go. Runs at you, runs through you, runs around you, runs past you, runs over you. 6 foot plus frame. Just a great player. Good age profile. Is obviously an Arsenal fan. Loves the Emirates Stadium, his favourite ground. We've all seen the clip. Premier League proven. Now, he's not had the most sort of usual career, 3 sort of loan spells. I think it was Bristol or Newport or someone where he sort of started. Born in England, born in Chelsea, actually, funnily enough, but plays for Ghana. His mum's French. What a player. What a player. And his output, he scored, I think he's responsible for 82% of Bournemouth's goals this season. There was a shot map that Colleen and I brought up on last night's show. If you're wondering, do check it out. Last night's show on Antoine Semenyo and why he's missing pieces. Opta sort of charts, shot maps, assist maps. Amazing. His shots and his goals from all over the pitch. He plays left wing, plays right wing, can play up top, can play false 9. This is the most obvious signing for me. May not happen in Jan. May have to wait until next summer. And we might have to kill Leo Trossard to get him, right? But this guy is... He's the one. Honestly, he's the one.
He feels like he's at that point, isn't it? Like some players get to that point where they have to move to a big club. Otherwise, it feels like it's wrong almost. Like Gareth Bale needed to go from Tottenham to Real Madrid to just cement himself. Semenyo needs to move this as you said, in either the winter window or the next window, summer window, because it'll be a waste of his talents. Not being disrespectful to Bournemouth, but he needs to go somewhere bigger.
Have gone
Saka, Semenyo, Eze, Madueke, Erdegaard, Dauman, Wanyeri, Gyökeres, Havertz.
Have Ghana qualified for the African Cup of Nations? They haven't, so wouldn't even need to worry about
Champions
that
League,
conversation.
not even cup tied, brother. You see where I'm going with this?
That's not a thing anymore, I don't think.
What?
That cup tied thing isn't a thing anymore.
No, it doesn't. It's not. There's no cup.
It doesn't exist anymore.
Bring me Vinicius. Forget Semenyo. Let's go.
The thing is, one thing. Let me just put a suggestion to you. Just maybe a bit wild and out there, but could we go for a loan with an obligation into say the 100 million? Just say, look, January we'll pay
for Semenyo.
Yeah.
Now you're talking my language, Yembele. I'll tell you what,
Berta does some strange things. You know what?
Yembele's going to yem. I love it. Mate, bring me that loan with an obligation to buy. That's what I'm talking about. Yes.
If we were to do that, do you know the player I could see us doing that for?
Mbappe.
Oh, obviously.
Madrid. Yeah, go on. Who?
Julian Alvarez.
Oh, what a player.
I don't think we'll do that in January, but if we were to go down that route of 100 million obligation or whatever, if we were to do that sort of deal, I could see it being with Atletico for Julian Alvarez potentially.
Not everyone's happy. Vig says 100 million for Semenyo. I don't think it's going to be. I think the rumours are, depending on who you follow and believe on socials, it'll be closer to 65, 70 million quid. Alvarez.
He needs to make it happen.
Go on.
He needs to make it happen, doesn't he? Slightly though, in terms of, again, like the Eze one, just a slight push to the right, to the club that he wants.
Work out. Version 2.0. Oh yeah.
Version 2.0.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. We need to will it into existence. Come on, Bertie. I know you're watching, baby. Jonathan K says Alvarez is ridiculous. He does everything. Lots of people still talking about Rodrigo. I can't see it.
I've seen it.
But there we are.
He's more of a key player now for Real Madrid than Vinicius is at the moment.
Antoine Semenyo. If you're an Arsenal fan, I know you're watching Latte FM. It's the Arsenal YouTube. Just get on it, mate. Just slip in that little transfer request.
You know, Bert's already been doing something. You know, Bert, he's already made the phone call. He's already said, look, I've got you sorted.
Do you know what? It's probably true. Bertie's probably been working on him for weeks.
He's got he's got a personal mobile phone. You know, like he's got 4 phones. All right, this is my Antoine Semenyo phone for the season.
Love it. Well, that's been a lot of fun, chaps. I've really enjoyed that tonight. Going for an hour and a half. Thank you for everybody watching. Really appreciate it. We were wondering on the WhatsApp, what are we going to talk about tonight? I don't think we're going to have enough for content, but it's been fun. It's been really good fun. And that is what it is. It's just laid back vibes on a Friday night. If you're watching for the first time thinking, what the hell are these compared to the daily grinds? I'm not sure what the weekend plans are going to be, to be fair. I've got to go.
You beat your kids by the sounds of it. You're going to be beating your kids by the sounds of it.
God.
Yeah.
Now, why am I going to be beating my kids? Where's that come from? I broke the vase.
I've never seen him.
Mate, I broke the
have a
vase.
look at Adam's chat to end the show.
Adam.
Oh my God.
Gosh! You realise if we sign Semenyo, then Yemarechi Yeza becomes Yemenyo. I'm convinced there is not one player in the game that Yembele's name just doesn't go with. Honestly. Yembappe, Yemarechi Yeza. It's just
Yemal.
so good. Yemal, Yamin.
I don't think you can do Vinicius. Can you?
It's crazy. Yamicius. I mean, come on.
Vinicius. Sounds like a dessert.
Vlad says, I have very wild I do. I have very wild dreams. Umair says, excellent show tonight. Thank you for that. Funny Gunner says, always a blast. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. No, I'm not going to fix the vase, mate. It just shattered, basically. Do you know what? I've never actually liked it. It's like a pair of vases.
Vases? You've done it on purpose.
Is that the plural of vase? Vases. Vases. Vase. Anyway, two vases, whatever it is. Both hideous. And she's put it next to this like artificial, you know, those orchid plants, Yembele? Like slap banging them in the dining table. So I've kind of secretly always hoped that, you know, the little one sort of parries the ball.
Of course,
so it's kind of deliberate. I was kind of sort of satisfied. But she's not happy, mate.
That's another handbag and holiday for Mrs. FK.
Huh?
That's another holiday and handbag for Mrs. FK, isn't it? Shortly.
No. We're doing a holiday in 7 days' time, actually. We're going out to the Middle East for half term. Yemenyo is elite levels, says KSSNYW. Elite. That is an admission. Mossad.
That doesn't work.
Oh, do you know what? Bloody Trossard. That's another thing that he's messed up. OP says, admitting it live was all pre-planned. That could be the end of FK. Luckily, she doesn't watch. She doesn't care about this. She doesn't care about Arsenal. And yeah, she might run it back on the LVAR. Well, thank you so much, ladies and gents, boys and girls. Really, really good fun. I'm not sure what we're going to do this weekend. We'll do something. Maybe like a Q&A session. How about that? Or something. I don't know.
Didn't you just say you was abroad?
From half term next week.
Okay.
So I'll have to figure something out for that. Anybody wants to follow Yembele or Yemenyo, that's it. That is the one. If anybody wants to follow Yemenyo, he is at Verge59 on the socials. Sometimes on the YouTube, he claims. And Wayne is also available at Wayne'sWorld20 _ and the Can You Believe It podcast. Excellent episode. Really, really good. The West Ham sort of showdown. Thank you, AFC 777. We'll leave it there. Thank you all to our Patreon members, channel members. We're at 94, 96 paid members now on Patreon, which is insane. If we get to 100, I will do a mega giveaway. How about that? Enjoy the weekend. Look after yourselves. Enjoy the last couple of days of this Indian summer that we're all enjoying in England. And good night, I guess. Be well. Thank you for tonight. Thank you. Appreciate that. Night, everyone. Keep it Arsenal. Keep it Latte firm. Thank you for your time. Until sometime soon. Bye for now.